Hey guys, welcome to part 7, starting off with some decals. This is the third brake light, and I'm also going to do one for the dashboard. That's going to be the navigation system. After installing the decals, I always like to press them down with a Q-tip or cotton swab or whatever you want to call them, so they stay in place and there's no water trapped underneath them. The seats I'm using came from Scale Productions. They're 2-part seats, so I'm now just gluing the backs on the bottoms. Right now I'm just measuring out and cutting off a piece of seatbelt material from Tuner Model Factory. This is a self-adhesive seatbelt material, looks very realistic and is very easy to put on. The belt buckle I'm using came from the photo edge set from the Nissan Silvia build I did a couple weeks back. Came in pretty handy and looks very tidy. Just gonna glue in the side pieces, the door panels to the chassis, the back seat, and move on to the rest of the interior. The steering wheel I'm using is also from Scale Productions. It's a racing wheel cast in metal, and I thought it would look cool with a red horn button just to make it stand out a little bit more. Adding some decals to the control panel in the center, and now I'm putting on some double-sided tape on the bottom of the seats to attach them to the white plastic pieces I used to make them a little higher so I can attach the seats and they would stick better. Just gluing in the dashboard now. The glue you see me using is just standard, very cheap stuff. It's super glue you can probably get at the dollar store or something like that. Now, moving on to the clear parts. For the clear parts, you do have to use some other glue. I'm just using basic wood glue. You could also use a 2-part epoxy glue or something like that. You just have to be careful that it's not a glue that eats up the clear parts and makes weird splotches or fogs up the windows or anything. The wood glue just attaches it and doesn't eat it up or anything like it. I use a pretty excessive amount just to make sure it stays in place better, and then sticking on some masking tape to keep it there and fill up the gaps between the body and the clear parts. For the side windows I'm using the same wood glue, but not putting it on with the bottle itself, but just a toothpick to make sure I don't use too much glue, because this will splotch out and make stains on the windows themselves, so be careful with that. For the rear view mirror, I'm using a paint marker with silver paint. When put on, this looks like a mirror reflective finish. putting on the radiator and the window wiper assembly to the body itself. This is probably the hardest part to attach because the body mostly is a bit warped and this doesn't really fit that well, so use enough glue. Be careful where you put the glue and keep it in place for a while just to hold it there and make sure it doesn't move. Also some fans for on the inside of the engine bay and the headlight. Just some wood glue on these as well, and a drop of clear blue paint to make them look like xenon headlights or something like that. I just think it looks cool. For the fog lights I needed to paint the insides with some silver, so I did that, and the lenses got a black surround just using some permanent marker. I put the lens on some double-sided tape, and that tape was attached to a toothpick so I can spin it around and it would stay in place. Also using some wood glue to attach these and picking it up with the double-sided tape to put them in place. Just applying some super glue on the edge where the fog lights will sit. Now for attaching the grille, I'm just drilling some holes through the grille and the bumper and putting some metal rod in it to keep it in place. That's it for this one. Check out my Facebook for status updates and other fun projects. Questions or suggestions, shoot me an email, post a comment. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys next time.